You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keetin. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV Saturday Night Live After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's SNL After Show.
Bing is for doing, and we're doing another AfterBuzz After Show for Saturday Night Live for the January 19th episode, hosted by Jennifer Lawrence, musical guest, the Lumineers.
The Lumineers!
Oh, boy. Well, I'm your host, Matthew Kyle. That first booming voice to my right was Filup Molina.
All right, all right.
We have Stephen Seidel on the end, and we have the lovely new
Keetin Marchi. Hi, guys.
Marchi.
There it is. Thanks for coming here with us. We appreciate that.
Personal question right off the top.
Yes.
Was it about Michael Keaton, or is that just coincidental?
I think that it was more Diane.
Diane Keaton.
But I prefer Buster.
Okay.
So...
Do you know Michael Keaton got his fake his fake name from Diane Keaton?
No, I did
That's not his actual last name.
Wow, we have that in common.
Who is not named after Diane Keaton?
And our host, full of information here.
There we
Good
go.
work, Matthew Kyle. Did you introduce yourself?
I did introduce myself.
Okay, I guess I wasn't
You were
paying
probably
attention.
just being vain or checking out Keaton.
Hey, of course.
Either way, this is the Saturday Night Live show. It's not the vain show. And who else did we have but the beautiful Jennifer Lawrence hosting? Oh, yes.
A rising star.
Yes,
A
22 years of
rising
age.
star? I think a star.
Absolutely a star. I have such a
A
crush
star
on her.
can continue to rise after they're already a star.
Really?
Yeah.
She is.
They-
I'll
they
agree
can
with
fall.
Philip on that one. She hasn't quite reached her plateau.
she's on the
a-
upswing.
She's
Really?
on the upswing. There you go.
She
I
was
agree
in
with
like
that.
the biggest movie last year, and then she just won a Golden Globe.
Wait till the
And
next
she did
Hunger
a tremendous
Games.
job hosting. Not really, but anyways, she was a little nervous. See,
Well, what'd you think? What'd you think?
I think she was a little nervous. She looked great. She's very beautiful. They underutilized her. She was more of a a sidekick, which I could have seen a little bit more. They could have accentuated her femininity a little bit more, and it was all right.
All right.
Steven wanted to watch it on mute.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I have such a girl crush on Jennifer Lawrence. I think she's awesome. I do definitely think she is a rising star. But yeah, she's so funny in interviews, and she's so kind of candid and real. And I feel like if they would have just let her shine a little bit more,
Yeah.
it might have been a better show. But she was definitely not underutilized.
I think they went for that a little bit. My real life girlfriend is also obsessed with.
And she exists.
She totally.
Why didn't you do
is
air
real.
quotes when you said real life?
Yeah.
Because I think it needs it.
All right, your eyebrows couldn't raise any higher on that, by the way.
So you were saying?
So no, she's also obsessed with her. I think girls love Jennifer Lawrence, and men want to date her. And then so we're all super excited, and then we saw it, and it was like, oh, you're so nervous that you're hurting your timing a little bit. I thought the effort was totally there, but it was like just everything was a little mistimed.
It was rushed.
But the promos were great. She was very funny in the promos with Jason Sudeikis. Did you guys catch this at all? She was fantastic.
I did not
there.
catch the promo.
I did
I'm a
catch the
bad
promos, but I
SNL.
also wasn't as critical of you guys as her performance. I thought she was really kind of there, and she was really committed to the material. Unfortunately, throughout the show, there was no material to be committed to. That was the bigger problem. But her, I'd give her a solid B+A.
She was a sidekick. They didn't really put her in the limelight. Like Bruno Mars, all these other people had
Yeah,
opportunities.
B+A.
What do you give?
I say C.
I Dreamed
She's
a Dream.
average.
I Dreamed a
Susan
Dream.
Boyle?
Come on, yeah, but Susan Boyle hosted. No, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
Oh, I gave her like an AA+. She was right up there.
Okay,
She really
so
had
B
it.
plus A and AA+, they both share an A. Like your grades are off, sir.
They had a month. All I have to say is there was a month time span between the last episode and this episode. They could have come up with a little bit more information. I think it was a dual effort. It was the writers, it was the performers, it was Lawrence's performance. It was a combination, and it was lackluster, at best.
I mean, I would agree. They spent so much time on the same type of jokes. Like they made fun of Lance Armstrong and Mate Teo 4 or 5 times. It's like that's just happened in the past week. Like there's so much that has happened.
Yeah. So.
Well, but then they had their Hunger Games sketch, which is for a movie that came out about a year ago. So it's tough to.
Yeah, they could have gone at least with Silver Linings Playbook and then had Bradley Cooper. I think they didn't have any celebrity cameos. There was no one, they could have used a little firepower behind that. They could have had Bradley Cooper with Silver Linings Playbook, something along those lines. They needed something to really spike it up a little bit.
Something extra.
A little something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
who knows?
Yeah, we were missing something, I think. Obviously, I just think it was the writing, not as much her.
Yeah.
Just a lukewarm return. I think hopefully it's cobwebs. Hopefully it'll be
cobwebs
gone by
because they were
next
so
week.
hot before.
Let's jump into some of this stuff. Let's jump into some of this awesome
let's
writing.
do that. And hey, before we jump in, let's talk about iTunes and how it
do
affects our AfterBuzz family. You can always go on there and rate and comment us. We greatly appreciate it.
5 out of 5 stars, ladies and gents,
Right,
if you like it, or maybe 4.
Or it looked like a 10 there.
Oh, okay.
Because you had them both up.
was-
But 5 out of 5 stars is always greatly appreciated. And again, check out any of the AfterBuzz shows. Keaton's got another one going on if you want to plug your next show you're doing here.
Oh yeah, Kim and Courtney take Miami.
Right.
Get ready. We're about to see how Kim Ye happened.
You can also you can also tweet us at AfterBuzz TV. We would love to hear your comments. You guys can call us as well. Give us a shout.
Totally. So tell a friend. Look at us at iTunes. Check us out on YouTube. Talk about us on Facebook.
Tell your mom and your dad.
That's right. Comment and share the love. So we really appreciate it. And that's the best we can ask from you. And what is the best that you liked from this show?
Philip, you go first.
Philip.
Right when we were pre-planning this bit, they were like, "Philip, you'll go last."
Yeah.
So I was like, I have plenty of time to come up
Fine,
with a
I'll
favorite.
go first.
Yeah.
Unless Keaton, what do you think?
Oh gosh, yes, I jump right into it. One of my favorite things was the Piers Morgan Tonight. It actually opened the show.
Oh, wow.
And I loved Kate McKinnon's version of Jodie Foster. She cracked me
That's
up.
great.
I thought she was right on with her impression. And
Blended a little into Ellen DeGeneres. For me.
a little bit.
But, I mean, blonde.
But doesn't Jodie Foster blend into a little Ellen DeGeneres?
I don't know.
know.
Into Kate McKinnon too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I mean that's the one. I mean, even by the end of it, I still was thinking about that one. I liked the Hobbit one a little bit. Like there were little gems throughout that short sequence. So that was slightly enjoyable, just seeing kind of all those people dressed up as Middle Earth characters.
The Piers Morgan bit, I just feel like they packed a little too much in there. They were just trying to get it all in there.
Yeah.
I feel like Jason was really quick with Lance Armstrong, and then they went to Teo, and then Jodie Foster. They had the shout out to the Sally O'Malley. They could have explored that a little bit more. Maybe had Molly Shannon come on, or they could have had Oprah because Lance was actually on Oprah, but they don't have a black comedian. So Kenan Thompson, where would you have been at as Oprah?
Because what's his face was kind of out of the episode, Jay Farrow.
Yeah.
But about that Piers Morgan Tonight, which felt like the let's catch up on the social buzz right now going on a sketch. This Teo thing, did you guys get this vibe that, okay, wait, I guess I have to ask you guys first. Are we collectively as America, are we believing him when he says he wasn't aware that this whole thing was fake, that this girlfriend wasn't real? Down the line.
For me, I don't believe him, but I'm sure that there are some people who do.
I believe him.
You believe him?
But I also could give no crap at all. Like, why do I care?
Right.
I don't. I don't watch college football. I don't care.
I mean, I think he found out a lot sooner than obviously we did. I think he found out, but he was just so embarrassed about it that he kept kind of this ruse that she was fake.
Yeah, can I take Keaton's answer? I like her answer better than mine.
Yeah, that's gonna be the rest of this AfterBuzz, just you taking her answers. No, I think maybe like he just later the fact that he continued. I think he does slip up sometimes, and still after he said it was fake, he still kept talking about it as if it was real. What was weird for me is that they definitely took the angle that he was just really dumb and that he did fall for it. It was a very funny angle because that was Bobby Moynihan, who, by the way, MVP of this episode.
He stole it, of course.
Yeah. It was very funny in it, but my only thought was it's a little weird because I think the guy's lying, not that he's a moron. So that just kind of took me out of it a little bit.
Well, the interesting point, I don't know if you guys know this, but Lance Armstrong actually was commenting on his teammate's wife, and he called her, he admitted to calling her a bitch, but did not admit to calling her fat. So when Jason Sudeikis said fat bitches, it was a callback to that interview.
I thought it was a non sequitur.
No, well,
just randomly calling people fat bitches.
Yeah, that one didn't have a lot for me. I feel like it just, the Jodie Foster I thought was great, and I thought, it's like always, they should just start with the last thing and then throw everything else away.
I think Jodie Foster would have been great
there.
if they just had Jodie Foster and left the other two aside.
Yeah.
They already came back from, like Keaton was saying earlier, they were in Weekend Update. We heard all the same information again.
Right, so just take all that out,
Yep.
do a Golden Globes,
Yep.
and just have her do the acceptance speech, and just
And throw Will Ferrell and Kristen, maybe comment on them. Have Kate McKinnon
you could have-
playing Kristen Wiig.
there you go.
There you go. That
There
would have
you
been
go.
great.
Interesting.
save a lot of time.
If you guys realize just how technical it is that they have to decide, we have a couple of things we want to do. We want to do Jodie Foster. We want to do Lance Armstrong. How do we combine them? All right, we got to do a talk show. Like, it's such a technical, unfun way to figure out what sketch is going to lead. It's like, we got to talk about these things, so it needs to be a talk show. Let's do Pierce Morgan. Let's do, and I hate that. I wish it would just be like, if you're gonna do a Lance Armstrong thing, do a Lance Armstrong thing. If you're gonna
I hear
do
you.
whatever, do it.
But it's also no excuse to, like, if we're going to do this, do it well. And if you can't do it well, then just leave it alone.
I didn't think anything was really done well, but the sketch that I enjoyed the most was because it was so weird, and I heard it was actually part of 30 Rock, was the Top Dog Chef. I know you guys probably hated that.
Let's talk
but
about
I feel
this.
like it had the potential to be really, really funny, like when the doorbell was ringing
Yeah,
and they
that
were
was
going
hilarious.
crazy.
That was so funny.
And they could have kept going with that, and even just the costumes were so elaborately done, and the wardrobe on that sketch was brilliant. I mean, Bobby Moynihan was funny as Hershey again.
Yeah, it's hilarious as Hershey. The sketch did that thing that I think we all like giggle at, like cats and dogs. Like that
Yeah.
is what the internet has become.
Everybody
at this
loves
point,
it, yeah.
Right? So it's a fun idea, and you're right. The doorbell bit was very funny. The trash bag bit was very funny. It's equally as good as everything else we've ever eaten.
Yeah.
That's all very
Yeah.
fun observations. But
Are you saying you like it?
It let me down. I was like, oh, this is actually funnier than I thought. Oh no,
Wow.
it is only as funny as I thought.
I actually laughed. I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead,
Oh
Kim.
no! The only funny part of that I thought was the doorbell part, and Jennifer Lawrence screamed, and I was like, "Oh my God! Look, come on, do more!"
And if they could have taken that game and just kept going further and further and further, they would have taken it to another level. I think, and that's what I saw a lot missing was just lackluster performance as far as the game and what they were trying to go for.
I thought it was probably the worst sketch that I've seen in recent memory.
Fair enough.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll put it out there, and I can tell you exactly why.
Okay, go for
Because
it.
immediately on impact, when it said Top Dog Chef, I was like, oh.
No, that's the problem.
I have done so much sketch comedy. I've seen a lot of sketch comedy. I've seen community theater sketch comedy, and I've seen it on its highest levels, okay?
Okay.
That was a community theater sketch comedy piece. Oh, it's Top Chef. What if dogs did it? Yuck, yuck, yuck. It was dumb. I was offended. It was
As a dog person?
beneath.
Yeah.
I was offended as
you
a
a
dog
dog owner?
person, as a, yeah. I don't own one right now, and I'm glad I don't.
Yeah.
Because I think I'd have to punish him for what I had to witness.
Oh God!
That was just really poor all the way around. And I just thought, again, if you've ever seen the movie Walk Like a Man from the 80s, watch that because you really enjoy it because they use all those same bits.
The Shaggy
like
Dog?
the doors. No, it's Walk Like a Man, but you can look it up. But it's
There's
similar to
also
that.
a movie. Wow, you
Right.
have. This is
I am
getting
very...
a lot of bite here.
I'll
in this
tell you, I'll
podcast.
give you a
about
lot
it,
of bite.
very
And I'll
angry.
give you a lot of bite. Bark says bite.
If
says
only I
Matt,
had a Lady
okay?
Gaga bra with machine gun, I could fire some
Right.
bullets over at Matt because he's getting vicious.
I thought, that's what I'm saying. It's great. I'm glad that you guys had a better response. I watched it with two friends of mine. And immediately when we saw the
dogs.
title, everyone went,
I agree. The title may not have been.
an audible sigh, and then it just went nowhere, and you knew it was going to.
Did you not laugh when the doorbell rang?
They ended on the cat bit.
The cat
Yeah.
bit was a horrible
No,
button.
that was
Oh my
Obviously,
god!
we get it.
I was getting Donald Trump. Let's riot in the streets mode after
So
that.
what was
That
your favorite sketch?
Brutal.
What was your favorite sketch?
My favorite
let's,
sketch.
Let's find the lighter side of Matt because we're getting a
Look
little
at
dark
this.
in here.
Look at this.
That's how you really
The
feel.
Bradley Cooper lookalike wants to find the silver lining. You like
Hey,
that?
hey, I'm from Philadelphia.
Hey. Starbucks. Starbucks
God.
Verismo, okay? Again,
I love this. I love the way
no,
this is
here we
going.
go because everybody likes something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Apparently, I suffer from having eyes and ears, apparently, and being able to watch the show and take it in and consume it. That was the only thing I found in this entire episode worth a dime. I thought that was funny, and it kind of got off the rails because they try to make it a little too urban and because that's not
A little
exactly
racist,
what Starbucks.
yeah.
A little bit at the end there. But I thought the idea was funny and stuff like that because people do always get your name wrong. I never go to Starbucks. My name is Matt. The last 3 times they write Max.
I was gonna ask you, do
It's-
you have fake names when you guys go to Starbucks?
Try having the name Keetin.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
excuse me, so
Kitten.
Kitten.
Milk for kitten.
Yeah. So.
But it's hard to hear in there. You got that bean grinder going at 9,000 RPMs or whatever. There's 120 decibels
But
blowing
there's
in
one
that
joke
place.
there. That's one joke. You get the name wrong once. Where do you go from there? I mean, I feel
Oh, I
like
liked the beats in it. I thought
did enjoy the
other than
beats?
the end beat where they had the Shaniqua character talking to the thing, I was like, that was okay, but it wasn't in the Starbucks realm.
Yeah.
But I thought the other thing where it was like, and just playing dumb and stuff like that, and then turning the cup and it was like another name. He's like, what do you want with me? And then it gets the T wrong and all that stuff.
Yeah, the mileage is going to vary on this one, I think, based on your experience at Starbucks. Starbucks is such like a personal thing to people that, like, I watched it with two of my friends who are humans and real, and they both had different reactions. One of them was like, oh, this is not what I've ever had at Starbucks. The other one totally identified with them messing your stuff up, though. And then me, I've had the, like, baristas that are talking about you behind the counter while you're there, and it's like, what is her job? Why is she just there to receive your jokes or whatever? So for me, it was very funny. It just depends on what your Starbucks experience.
I think it was funny. I think they had room to explore a little bit even further. You know, go further into the Starbucks experience, not just the name. Go into the fact that you don't know what the heck the cup is called, if it's a tall, if it's a venti, if it's whatever. Just give me a freaking medium. It had the opportunity to go a little bit further, but I agree it was funny.
I'll say best Jay Farrow performance of the season.
Oh,
the voice of the coffee machine. And
It's not saying a lot, but
no. I think
he loves Jay Farrow.
I love Jay Farrow too. He's funny.
Ironically, no. So I think because they gave him multiple takes, it was an edited thing. He actually legitimately was funny in that. His voice was very funny in it. It's when you throw him out there live and he gets nervous and he starts dancing.
It was professionally done, though. I actually thought it was. I was going to TiVo right by it because I thought it was a Starbucks commercial. Then I had to come back a little bit, or DVR, should I say?
I did the same thing.
Okay.
I did the same exact thing. Well, Filup, since we were gonna end with you, let's end with you.
Yeah.
My favorite is going on in the background right now. If you're viewing us on YouTube, it's the Girlfriends Talk Show. Are you guys not fans of this?
I thought it was funny. There was elements.
Here's the thing. Adie Bryant is just killing it with this character. She just knows this character so well. I have a friend that speaks like this and kind of acts like this too, so I just see her. It also is one of Jennifer Lawrence's best performances of the show because it's a character that she clearly just got to sink into. I think when she was just trying to be herself, it actually was a little shaky because she was just like delivering lines strangely, and the monologue was very wooden and a nice try. This is some of her best delivery. No, I love this sketch. I don't like it as much as the first time, but
Did you own a guinea pig? Did you own a guinea pig growing up?
Are you gonna? Is this a setup?
No, well, no, because she was talking a lot about guinea pigs, and I owned a guinea pig, so
You owned a guinea pig?
Of course I did. It got loose.
Yeah.
It got loose in the garage. I never saw it ever again. But my dad said,
Nor your motorcycle.
Yeah.
Took off. No, so maybe if I associate with this, I wasn't the awkward friend so much, but I did have the friend that was cooler than me, and whenever their cooler friend was around, this is a story about
Matt's
me.
pointing to himself for you listeners at home.
Which is no different than any other minute of the show where Matt is pointing at himself.
Yes.
It
was a very well-developed character for Adie Bryant. You see Chris Farley as the Gap Girl. I mean, just really having fun with it. I thought she did a great job for sure.
Yeah, I think the only letdown that I felt, and maybe you felt the same way, Keetin, is that it wasn't as good as the first time around. It was 60%, and I was like,
Well, in an episode like this,
in an episode like this, it felt like a rare jewel that you would find on the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
I think we can all identify with that reference.
Segue that, Keetin.
Minnetonka, Morataka from Keetin.
Is that Minnesota?
That is Minnesota.
Because actually, B108 took place in Minnesota with Taryn and Bobby Moynihan.
Wow.
Purple
and
rain.
That's the only thing we
rain.
need to say about that sketch.
That was impressive.
Yeah. And it was also Jennifer Lawrence doing a weird character. There it was.
Oh yeah. Actually, you know what? She wasn't so bad in that. And she had that consistent game of just the off rhyming, rapping. Yeah, when she's in character, she's a great actress. I'll give her that. So it was fun when she played characters.
But she wasn't very comedic. It was more of the straight. She was more of the straight character. I mean, the waitress but just throughout the whole episode, I think she, was more of just run-of-the-mill characters where she wasn't really able to push the envelope a little bit.
Can we talk a little bit about the Hunger Games sketch?
Sure.
My frustration here is that I think a lot of people were expecting them to do something with the Hunger Games. I think one of us might have predicted it.
I wasn't here last week, unfortunately. I apologize.
Yeah. Well, but not accepting it. But yeah, the Hunger Games sketch was the sketch that your high school sketch team writes about the movie The Hunger Games. It's like, let's talk about the funny hair and the whatever, and it just felt like there was no identifying, or maybe your community theater sketch.
It's community theater.
You can be seen
Same
with
crew.
every weekend. and it's just like not taking one interesting angle. I don't know if you guys remember, they did a Hunger Games sketch like last year, and it was a sideline reporting during it, and it was like, hey, let me ask you about how whatever, and she's like, people are trying to murder me right now, I can't do an interview, and that was a very fun angle. It wasn't a perfect sketch, but it was fun. This was just like, meh, just people calling out references that, and from someone who maybe did not see the Hunger Games. I don't know. Jim Downey wrote this, by the way.
I didn't love it, but I don't know. Keetin?
I mean, as someone who loves the Hunger Games,
Did you read all the books and all that?
I did.
Okay.
I read them in a span of 6 days, but you know.
In a span of 6 days?
Yeah, my parents worried about me.
Okay, yeah.
She locked herself in
like,
up over
they're like,
that.
you need to come out, get out of the house. But
That sounds like Jodie Foster's speech.
Oh God. It just was like one note. It just, the questions weren't funny. If they were gonna set it up in that way, I felt like the questions they could have come at them with could have been funnier, and making fun of the fact that PETA, Josh Hutcherson, is a lot shorter than Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, that was like a year ago. Over it.
I threw something at the TV at that point, because when they're like, stand up, I go, he's gonna say like, I'm already standing, I'm already standing, I'm already standing, and then he does that, and I was like.
It was the beard was done very nicely for Bill Hader. The beard was kind of looks like Phillips in a. Could you, if maybe we do a prediction, and if you don't get the prediction right, you cut your beard like
into,
oh my God.
Exactly.
What's his name? I know you know the character's name.
Oh,
yeah, Wes
oh
Bentley's
my God!
character.
Now I'm like blanking. Oh,
Yeah, it is
I'm
Wes
so
Bentley.
sorry. I honestly can't think of his name right now.
So she
I'm
read
the
all the
worst
books.
Hunger
Air quotes.
Games fan
Somebody
ever.
needs to lock themselves away for another 6 days.
I should have to shave. If I had a beard, I should shave it into that shape
in the back of your
at
head.
this point.
If she.
But Keaton, you mentioned earlier, I'd love to talk now that we're on movies. You should have gone Silver Linings Playbook. You could have had a lot more fun with that. But the Hobbit one as well. I'm not familiar with the Hobbit. I guess you know the Hobbit as well, since you're into the sci-fi.
Yeah, I saw the Hobbit, and it was not as good as the Lord of the Rings.
But does it go on forever?
She watched the movie over the span of 6 days.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just stop you guys right there. What is Lord of the Rings?
No one said that phrase, so I don't know where you're coming from on that.
He said Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Did I say
If you
Lord of the
stay
Rings?
up on the topical
I
humor,
don't think
Philip.
anyone said.
I said Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, no,
I
she
said
did.
Lord of the Rings.
She said Lord of the Rings.
All right.
But the segment for the Hobbit, it was cool. They had the Google Maps in there. That was kind of funny. Splitting the dinner bill, because that's a funny topic. I would have
funny.
much rather seen that as a full sketch.
So did we all see that those moments were the gems, kind of like the idea of Gandalf chasing his hat for 3 movies.
Yeah.
Just these like really mundane little tasks. I really liked these splitting the bill too, and
the dwarves putting the IKEA dresser together because
Right,
it takes you
that was
4
really
hours.
funny,
That was
too.
it was really. I mean, that was genuine writing, and it was creative.
But there was something about the sketch. It was just like, this is the rare one though that even though it was long, I was like, actually they kind of pulled it off toward the end, and if it hadn't been as long, they wouldn't have won, because the beginning of it, the setup wasn't very good.
Yeah.
The Hobbit.
It was cute. It was quaint.
Like a Hobbit.
And
like a
it's,
Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah. It's a forced right. It's like, hey, let's do something about the Hobbit. And you kind of get there, and you get like a 60%, mostly baked idea, and it was good. I enjoyed most of it. Obviously, the standout would have been the IKEA. You need to be a little more offbeat than that, and a little bit like, oh, I forgot my keys. Let's turn around. And I was like, because they say it. It's the show don't tell thing. It's like they tell you, and then they show you, and then they tell you, and then they show you, and it's just like, at some point, just give me title cards or just give me images, because I can figure it out.
Compare this to the Hunger Games sketch though, and at least that's why
it had
some
legs.
Joy.
It had legs,
just
definitely.
as an angle on a movie that's popular, that it's just one joke that you hit correctly, and then you get out.
I 100% agree, but like you were saying, there's just no angle with the Hunger Games.
I'd love to jump in really quick.
Straightforward.
I think this is more of the overall, the focus of the show seems to be lacking like a direction, so to speak. They had the inaugural, or they had the debates and things, and that's what they were focused on. And now it's just, they had the one sketch which is a little bit weird. We'll talk about that, Danielle, which is more of like Portlandia, but it just seems like it's losing its,
they're really
like,
trying to find
footing.
their way. Yeah.
They don't know. They know more digital shorts, so they don't know whether to leverage those. It just seems like everything is just kind of on quicksand, so they don't really know where to go.
Yeah, no standout performer.
Yeah.
Every week it's like another featured performer. Bobby Moynihan was this
Weekend
week.
update, they don't know whether to have 1 special guest, 2 special guests. Like, it just kind of seems that there's no overall format. Not that there necessarily needs to be, but I think they need some sort of structure. and having this lack of structure leads to.
Well, it's a sad thing to say, but SNL is a mirror on whatever's going on in the zeitgeist, right? So, during the election, it was politically focused, politically driven, and there was a reason for it. Right now, God, the news has been so depressing for like a month, and then it's about either tragedies or Congress debating about like how to properly react to these tragedies, and it's just an awkward thing to like they didn't do any gun control stuff really or anything, and that's been so in the news. So I think it's just right now you either are watching that or you're watching the Golden Globes. So they just
award season. They didn't even touch the award season. They didn't even touch it though.
But I just mean they went the light route, which is not it's not deep down rooted humor that like, oh, I feel something about this. It's like, oh, I guess that's in the news right now. The Hobbit did come out, I guess. It's just not a time also for rich commentary.
I think the only bit that they did that really didn't have any legs, it was just a comedic bit for comedy's sake, which maybe that's what they need right now to find a little something, was the Johnny Two Tones at the restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you guys not like that?
I liked Jennifer Lawrence's character in that, but I don't know. I just couldn't. I didn't think that was funny. I was like, okay, we've all been to Bevex in Chicago, like
we've all been.
Yes,
there.
we have all been to Adirondacks.
I have not.
The Adirondacks.
You're not.
I got a cabin
There's
there.
a restaurant in Chicago called Bevex where that's what they do. They just insult you the entire time you are.
Really?
Or there's one called Dick's,
It's
or
true.
there's just various
There's
restaurants.
one in Disney World, I think.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
It's
been
true.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And did you enjoy yourself there, Marissa, from behind the
no,
camera?
no. But going back to the Hunger Games, the guy with the mustache is Seneca Crane.
Oh,
Oh,
see.
man.
Thank
And how many
you.
days did it take you to read the Hunger Games?
It took me 2.
Oh,
All 3.
All three in 2 days?
Oh.
Oh my god.
You got served. No.
This
I'm
is why
sure
the
you
economy's in a
so
tank.
ashamed of myself.
Those are easy books, though.
Well, everybody's reading. Nobody's working anymore.
Yeah.
What happened to jobs? Come on.
Well, you mentioned there's nothing. There's so much more to grasp onto in the zeitgeist. There's just tons of stuff. Whether it's award season, whether it's the sporting, whether it's
But
different.
I get it's very somber stuff, and it's very
Look
serious
at
stuff,
Key and Peele, or however
Mhm.
I forget. Their stuff is brilliant. It's gold. Some of it's not even about anything.
That's true. Have you guys seen the Kroll Show, by the way?
Yeah,
Not to
that's really
pull to the
funny.
side. Kroll Show has that really fast-paced editing. I've been talking about this for SNL.
Yeah.
How SNL's is a very classically structured sketch show.
Uh-huh.
With Kroll Show, everything is flying by. Not a moment of screen time is wasted. There's no setup really. They just jump right in. They do title cards.
So Johnny Two Tones, I thought also like Jennifer Lawrence, her performance was very, just straightforward. She didn't really get to dig into a character. It wasn't highly comedic. And for that matter, people didn't know whether she was trying to be funny or just being herself. So they didn't really know what her take was on the situation. And then the button at the end was kind of garbage
It was
as well.
a weird one. It feels like it was
Free
gonna
desserts button.
change.
Yeah,
It's
like
strange.
changed at the end. Now, this
that was-
sketch, I think the only problem with it really is people deep down, we've talked about this before, they don't like mean. Mean is hard to find funny. So people who are not deserving of it, just getting told like that they're going to die alone.
drinking
or
toilet water.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. And it's just like you could hear it a little bit, like she would say something, and then you would hear girls go like, "Oh."
Yeah.
It's like that's not a feeling that's conducive to laughter. So it's just tough to balance those sketches.
You're like, leave Bobby alone.
Yeah, there was a lot left to be desired there. It had all the beats, and it had a classic sketch rhythm of like da-doop boop, ba-doop boop, ba-doop bop, pow.
Boom.
The pow really sucked. Boy, that ending was so awful.
Philip, you were talking about the digital aspect. I feel like we have a digital short in the Danielle, the softcore porn. That's kind of similar to the route where it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit awkward, but
A little bit weird.
yeah, a little bit
I
weird.
did not get it. I was
Well,
so
you haven't watched enough
confused.
Cinemax because I got that thing. No
You
doubt.
got that
I
thing?
got it
No
multiple
doubt.
times.
I got it multiple times in one night.
Oh,
No,
he
I'm
gets
just
all
kidding.
hood when we talk about Cinemax.
Is that hood? Earlier you referred to it as
B108.
urban.
Yeah.
I just like how many synonyms we have for.
I have a lot of
racism.
colloquialisms for inner city youth, okay?
Yeah.
You got a problem with that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But and then Bill Hader.
Jabroni.
Yeah, the jabroni. Bill Hader he had an insert in there. Bill Hader was like Johnny Inserts. Speaking of Johnny Two Tones, he was like in
Yeah.
every sketch, but he was like the one guy who would pop into it.
Oh, I love him.
Yes.
Can we go down the line? And I feel like we're on a downer right now. Do you guys feel it? The energy
I'm
a little
sad.
bit. Can we just go down and just
Yeah.
say something we really enjoyed about this episode, or about this weekend if you don't have anything about this episode?
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not start with me because I'll need some time.
Would you like me to go first?
Yeah, please.
I thought that Tim Robinson had a nice opportunity with the love letters in the Civil War. It wasn't my favorite sketch, but I feel the newcomers are really giving some opportunities. I think they're Vanessa. She's more of the multitasker. She's the everyday player. She played a great straight woe man. And
you know the B whatever sketch.
Yeah, in the B108, and she also was in the Johnny Two-Tone sketch. I think that there's potential. Kate McKinnon obviously is really talented. They just need to utilize her a little bit more. Cecily Strong, there's a big write-up about her.
Don't take everybody's positive things.
Okay, I'm done.
But yeah,
no, I'll just skip me then.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Kate McKinnon. I wish she would have been in more sketches. Every time she's in sketches, I usually think it's somewhat funny. And, you know, Jennifer Lawrence, I really do like her. She might have not really impressed you guys and, you know, wasn't my favorite host ever, but I think she's great.
Yeah.
Good luck at the Academy Awards.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Matt, you got anything?
Yeah, when those end credits hit. No, I'm just kidding. I really thought the Starbucks thing it really had a voice. I appreciate the Starbucks thing. Filup?
Wow. You were.
No, Jennifer Lawrence I think is beautiful. I think she's great.
I think she's beautiful.
I think she's a star. She's more than up and coming.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like this generation's Julia Roberts.
Cool.
Nice.
Not to double up on it, but the Civil War letter sketch in general, it was partially written by Tim Robinson too, so that's why he's a natural for it. I thought it was a great, simple idea that has nothing to do with what's going on right now, what we were talking about earlier, of just like, you guys are capable of just thinking of funny ideas, and that was an example of like, oh, this is funny. Like, Civil War letters are always so like elaborate and beautifully written, and then it's just like, I mean, I'm sure there were some morons back then too who also had to write home. I also really like the effect that Top Dog Chef had on Matt.
Oh, I like that too.
I've never seen such a piece of SNL affect someone on such an emotional.
I also wanted to talk really quickly. I liked in Weekend Update when they talked about Flo Rida, and I would always call him Florida, but I had no idea that he was actually from Florida.
You didn't know Florida?
So I would like you guys to now call me Philadelphia. Because that's where I'm from.
Not bad.
And also, too, by the way, Kate McKinnon should have come out as Anne Romney when they were talking about her being on Dancing with the Stars. Golden opportunity to have her come out up on stage and do all these crazy dances.
You know, the Romneys haven't. I mean, they're so just removed now at this point. I wonder if it feels like it'd be picking on them if they even mention them.
Well, I don't think they're about picking on people, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you just disappear. Remember when Al Gore had a beard for 5 months?
Yes.
And I think we learned
There's
stuff.
Romney pumping gas in Wahana or whatever.
Did you guys learn anything? Did you learn
ago.
anything this episode? Because I learned a few things during the Weekend Update. Did you guys learn anything?
About what's going on right now?
Yeah,
What'd you
about
learn?
in the world.
What'd you learn?
I learned
from Anthony Crispino or from
Crispino was funny. But they banned cell phones in the cockpit. What? Who knew that they were allowed to have cell phones in the cockpit? I thought that was a little strange.
See, are you guys? If there's autopilot and like I'm able to have my iPad open on the floor of my car when I'm driving and catching up on.
I agree. I am 100%.
Yeah, I don't feel so safe.
Phil is one of the worst drivers I've ever seen. He's never gotten in an accident.
You mean Phil or Philadelphia?
Yeah, Phil Molina.
Phil, not Philadelphia.
Well, I think we're doing that.
I'm not calling him that.
No, you don't have to call. And chimpanzees watch porn. I did not know that either.
Good for them.
That was interesting.
Good for them.
My first reaction was also where is this place that just has a porn channel you can just turn to?
Who lets their chimpanzees watch TV?
Yeah.
Right. The
really?
chimpanzee.
They should be busy serving us dinner and making us laugh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Whoa. Is that racist?
You're pulling my PETA strings there on that one.
I don't think it was racist until you said, "Is that racist?" And then.
Or no, the other thing I wanted to bring attention to, Phil. I know that you do a little ASL. The deaf man who was stabbed for doing sign language.
Yeah, I legitimately thought about it, and I was like, I remembered that this sign for blood. Or not the actual sign for blood, but the
Crip hand signal sign. Yeah,
does look like a sign language sign or something. It's kind of.
And I feel like that could have been a great sketch too. You could have taken that and gone a different angles.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. You guys all want to learn a sketch? Or sorry, a sign?
Sure.
Okay, this is great for our listeners.
I have one better than yours.
Yeah.
No, it's one of the most beautiful ones. It's the sign for the word reflection.
Reflection.
And if you can fingerspell, you already know how to do it. REFLECTIO.
And for you listeners at home, he's doing a lot of crazy stuff. He's the little guy in the corner of the screen when you're trying to watch the show.
You just literally did like 10 Chinese characters with your hand. That was like not. Why don't I share one with everybody that we could all do in
And
3
here,
seconds?
Yeah.
for our
It's my
listeners.
favorite one, and you can use it in conversations
Okay.
and share it amongst your friends.
Let's go.
It is whatever. Okay,
Whatever.
but you also
Okay.
have to do the face with it as well. This is whatever.
Okay, there it
Really?
is.
Just slap your hands back and forth.
Oh my
That's
God,
whatever.
that was for our listeners. Do not tune in. What Matt Kyle just did was so vulgar.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
a mess in the studio now.
Can we talk about some musical performances, or is that too early?
It's a little too early, but
Oh.
if you want to skip ahead and just break this whole cycle,
Oh, okay.
why
Well-
don't you go ahead?
Well, I just feel like the listeners at home, they want to see through their ears and
Yeah.
with these hand
The
signals. and not-
Lumineers at home.
Yeah, they're not able
Well,
to experience.
slap
some of
your
that.
fingers back and forth. That's whatever, and you
Okay.
can make a like a West Coast whatever
I
face
hope,
with it.
I
It's
hope
cool.
this rap song that this inspired takes off.
Yes.
Slap your fingers back and forth.
So do you guys are rappers? Have you ever? Keaton's boyfriend is a rapper.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Well, no, he not really. He thinks he is.
Her real
Oh,
boyfriend or
actually.
her like make believe boyfriend?
My boyfriend.
Matt Kyle's air
He's from
quotes.
Canada,
Yeah.
guys.
You got it. Well, let's move. Let's just move on to the Lumineers because you know what? I will mention that was another thing I enjoyed with the show. That song is a really
Yeah.
good song.
Great. Isn't
I
that-
felt happy
Hey.
after I watched it.
Yeah. Hey,
I love the
Hey.
girl who danced the whole time. Wait, I have her name.
she's cute.
She's
needs to be out.
adorable.
She's
I wanna
adorable.
Let's
be
get her
best
name out there.
friend.
Let's get her-
I have it.
Tweet us. Whatever
I
your
have
name
it.
is.
Wait. Okay.
What?
Nayla.
Nayla.
Nila Pakarek.
The car wreck?
Ah.
But she plays the cello as well for them. And
Right. Second song, she played the cello.
cello
She's
is- that's
talented. I
that's
was
a hot
watching her.
instrument.
So let's talk about that SNL wise a little bit. They're nailing it lately with just
Musical performances.
Musical performances. They're just
Sure.
getting what everybody like wants to hear right now, and then like so everyone that has a single out, you go to SNL, get your single out, and they get your second
Yeah.
single premiered there.
A lot of folk.
And then stop playing that first song.
Stubborn
again.
Love.
A lot of stubborn
Love.
That was the second song. That
That
was
was the
great too.
second
A lot
song.
of folk music, like Mumford and
Well,
Sons.
it's just
all that-
in right now, right?
Phil Phillips,
It's
you know.
a
all that kind of-
contemplative time with what's going on in the universe. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You know, you really think it is where people are going back to folk music? Folk was from a time when people were trying to protest with song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're on Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. They're kind of protesting with their hip hop tracks, but we'll come back to them in the predictions. But everybody's getting their voices out there. I also want to tell you guys, after each performance, there was a Blue Moon commercial, and it was actually one of the Lumineers songs.
It was kind of a little weird to go right from the song into a Blue Moon commercial playing the exact same song and being like, oh,
Yeah.
you just made them look like sellouts.
Yeah,
Oh.
but it's kind of like, they went into the Silver Linings Playbook advertisement. It's kind of the synonymous thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
keeping it in line, and it looked kind of tasty. It made me want to drink a Blue Moon.
Well, the advertising
delicious.
worked.
Yeah.
You're
I love
easily
Blue Moon.
swayed.
iTunes.
AfterBuzz not brought to you
Yeah.
by Blue Moon.
I think you have a little news for us.
Oh, I have lots of news. Basically,
AfterBuzz TV News.
some of the news. Jason Sudeikis, you guys probably know this as well, engaged to the lovely Olivia Wilde, which is pretty interesting.
pretty, very
very
pretty.
pretty.
She's gorgeous.
See, yeah, she is. See, that's
She's also smart, guys.
yeah.
She's
and
very talented as
she
well.
used to
She's
be
a
married to
talented
the Prince of Italy.
What?
She used to be married to the Prince of Italy. I actually met him at a couple parties.
And now
Nice
she's
guy.
dating Jason Sudeikis?
Hey, that funny guy's winning in the long run.
Wow.
Also,
Okay.
Jason
Yay for the
Sudeikis
funny
can be
guy.
Pretty handsome.
That sounds like a slide and one that goes down.
so this is the 38th year, but SNL has received 36 Emmys and has the most nominations ever with 156 Emmy nominations. That's pretty
Wow.
impressive. I don't know
pretty
if you know
impressive.
that. And also, Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig were the stars of the show for the Golden Globes. Tommy Lee Jones loved it.
Great bit.
So,
Great bit.
Yeah, that was definitely. I think that's pretty much all I have. Jennifer Lawrence is probably going to marry
No.
you when you
Oh, okay, cool.
get over some of your stuff. That's pretty much it.
Over some of my stuff or
Yes,
all of my
it's-
stuff?
she's
She's
I'll
like
get,
waiting, Matt.
Some of your inner angst.
I'll get over some of it, but
Yeah.
all of it, that's a deal breaker.
But that's pretty much all I have for the news this week. But I'll have more for you next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And
He
you
did
for
his
the
own
weather? You going to
sound.
do the weather now?
Yeah.
or?
Yeah.
It's very hot in the
Yes, it
studio.
is.
Yeah. If we all
It's
lifted
a
our
crisp
arms up
90
right now,
degrees.
you'd probably see some pleasant surprises. But we won't
No,
do that.
hey.
Hey.
Keaton's a lady.
I am a lady.
You
I don't
shut it.
sweat.
This is great. I like having
Who are
a
you?
As
lady
if she
amongst
had a
us.
beard.
Yeah.
We're not hiding a guy as a girl who's
Yeah.
very pretty and pretending that he's a girl. That's
There's
not
gonna be
us.
rumors
Speaking of pretending, let's get into predictions and pretend like we know the future. Ooh, all right. The lovely, lovely newest member of our round table.
So for next week, I bet you they do a voice spoof with Adam Levine.
Oh, because let's pitch that because January 26th, the next episode is Adam Levine, Kendrick Lamar on music.
Nice.
I've never heard
Phil.
of Kendrick Lamar, but I believe it's a Kardashian item.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like they're gonna have a Kardashian spoof or refer to Lamar Odom just because it sounds similar. That's my prediction. They're also gonna have an American Horror Story sketch.
Oh yeah.
And their next week is probably gonna be funnier. And at some point in the season, Tommy Lee Jones will probably host SNL because that would be a great move on their behalf.
Or just be sitting in the audience.
Just sitting in the audience for real. And if I get any of these predictions wrong, I will.
Feats of strength. Feats of strength.
I'll come back to me on the penalty. Go for it, Phil.
Gotcha.
On the penalty.
I don't know if you guys listen really closely. It's far away, but it's coming. Do you hear it? Dirty pop. Justin Timberlake. He's coming in some way, shape, or form.
Of course.
I
He's got the new
feel
track
it.
out.
He's
You're right.
got a new song out.
Yeah.
He's coming back to SNL. It's in the
Oh
air.
my God.
Maybe.
Dirty pop.
Yeah, it's closer. It's getting closer. It's
Dirty
scary.
pop.
Jaws kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dirty pop.
Yeah.
So maybe on the Bieber Maybe on the Bieber episode, but.
Maybe on the Bieber episode, which is the following episode after that.
Can't
That
wait
is
for
something
that.
else. Do you have anything
I'm
you
looking
want to
forward
put up
to that one. Yeah.
If I'm wrong.
If you're wrong.
I won't be, but if I.
Can we have a prediction for next week's episode so we can have some penalties if we're wrong?
That's what I'm
Immediately
saying.
next week?
I still
Yeah.
think you should shave your beard.
Yeah.
I think you're just saying that, like, in general.
I think she's just
No,
trying to
but
tell you
shave
something.
it in that way. That
She just kind of is
fancy
like,
way.
Okay.
Also, stop wearing things that don't make your waist look good.
If
You might want to try the vertical stripes.
if there is not a Kim Kardashian or a Lamar Odom reference in next week's episode, I will be packing some booty in one of our episodes.
What the hell does that mean?
does
I
that
don't know.
mean?
I'm gonna pack my pants full so it looks like I have a Kim Kardashian butt. I don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
okay.
That'd be
All right.
nice.
Well,
Yeah, that's
explanation
fun.
was needed on that.
Holy
And, or maybe
smokes.
I'll just wear underwear with the booty packed
All
in
right.
it. No, let's not do that.
Well, I have a solid prediction for next week. You guys are going to say something that makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I'll put up my life for that one.
All right.
On top of that,
Adam
Levine. Adam Levine. I 100% agree there will be a voice sketch.
And Christina Aguilera will be made fun of, unfortunately.
Yes.
Yes, and I hope Kate McKinnon plays Christina
No,
Aguilera.
80 Bryant's gonna play
Yep,
Christina
I agree.
Aguilera.
You say unfortunately, but is that because you're a Christina fan?
I have hope for Christina. You know when Britney was like in her lowest point of low? I
Yeah, I hung
wanted
out with
her
her
to
a lot
come
of times.
back.
I'm glad we
I
have a
wanted
girl
her
on the
did.
panel now.
So
Yeah,
I
some
kind of,
empathy.
I'm hoping Christina finds, and good for her if she wants to be curvy, but like, you
Yeah,
know,
curvy's
let her be
fine.
curvy.
Okay.
Who's gonna play CeeLo in that
Oh,
sketch?
you know. Keenan.
Keenan,
Oh,
of course.
yes.
Yeah.
And who's gonna be the other guy?
And if I'm wrong about the voice sketch, you got 50 push-ups. I'll do 50 push-ups in a row.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Awesome.
say here, so we have an immediate. We'll know if I'm right or wrong. Adam Levine. He's going to sing something in the monologue.
Oh, well, yeah, of course we're gonna have.
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't have singing this week, but we had a nice little show, didn't we?
If by the way, if I'm wrong, I'll do the entire next show with my eyes closed or something covering my eyes. Just
What's
to
new?
the plight for the blind people that listen to our show and didn't get to see
Okay.
what we had.
There you have it.
Any last thoughts, real quick, Keaton, for us?
Oh, no. Well, actually, just to let you guys know, next week I will not be here. I will be hanging out with Jennifer Lawrence at the SAG Awards, so
Oh, that
I'll
sucks.
fill you guys in on how that
Yeah.
is.
Maybe we can cut to you live and get it
Yeah,
on.
tell her
That'd be
Matt
cool.
has gotten over some of his stuff.
Yes.
Over some.
Exactly. Just let her know some. It'll keep her
I'll
interested.
let
And
her-
just say Matt, because I'm sure she knows when she
Oh,
hears the name
absolutely,
Matt.
she knows
It's
who
this
he is.
one.
We're on first syllable basis. She'll be good. All right, lovely people. Well, thank you. We'll see you soon,
Thank you.
Keaton.
Yeah,
and
thanks for
Stephen
please.
and Phil, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, if you
And,
guys want to hit me up on Twitter, hit me up at Stephen Seidel or check out stephenseidel.ne to the T. Thank you very much.
That's right, Phil.
You can find me on Twitter at Fimo, Fimo.
Sweet, sweet. You can find me on my website, www.matthewkyle.com. Always got something going on. Check it out. Keep
And you can find me on Twitter at KeatonM33.
awesome.
All
All
right.
right, y'all. Till next week, Adam Levine.
Later.
Check, y'all.
Bye.
Saturday Night Live. From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.